السلام عليكم والعفو والعافية. بتتذكروا من زمان، مش من زمان كتير يعني، كان إذا واحد عم يسعد يقولوا معه من هيديك المرض اللي ما بيتسمى. واليوم شو هو هالمرض اللي ما بيتسمى؟ قديما كان السل، السكري، السرطان، سيدا. سيد الأمراض هو الخوف، وسيد الخوف هو هالتكنولوجيا اللي عم بتشوفوها. كتاب بحبه كتير مثل كل الكتب، ولكن أجمل كتاب هو هالإنسان لأنه باب للحقيقة. في كتاب بيقول civilization is the cause, cancer is the cure. السبب هو الحضارة، السرطان هو العلاج. فإذا السبب السرطان مش بس أكل، طريقة حياة. وين راكدين؟ حفاة عراة يتطاولون في البنيان. نحن مش بالإنسان، بالبنيان. واليوم أكثر من بلد عربي بزور بسمعكم وبتعلموني أشياء كثيرة، خاصة بالسعودية. أول مرة سمعت واحد عطس قالوا الحمد لله، تاني الثالثة الرابعة يشفيك الله. قلت يا الله، الحقيقة وحدي بالميكروبيوتيك أول عطسة ثانك يو، الثاني ين انرجي السبب، الثالثة الرابعة بنصير نعرف من أي مقام أو أي element بالجسم، أي عضو، أي عنصر، من وين السعلة، وين بجسمنا في ضيقة، في شدة بدها تطلع. فإذا كل علامة بجسمنا هي مرجع إلى الأساس. صوت عم يصرخ الجسم، بيعطس، بيوجعني راسي، سرطان، سكري، سل، سيدا، كله له أسباب. بس اليوم رح نشوف كلنا سوا مينا دوبك، مش أول إنسانة وآخر إنسانة شفيت من السرطان. لكل داء دواء وهو الشافي. بمجرد أن عرفته كل إيمان قالت سرطاني كان نعمة، it was a blessing. كلنا هيك. لو ما المرض ما اجتمعنا، لو ما الأرض عم بتموت وعم تصرخ، ما قلنا يا أهل البيئة حاج تعملوا وباء. كلنا مشتركين بكل وباء وبكل مرض، لأن كل إنسان منا مسؤول. كل إنسان وفينا انطوى العالم الأكبر، في أنا كفرد وأنت وأنت. الطبيعة ما عندها سرطان، وحده هالإنسان يلي ترك الأكوان والأديان وعلم الأبدان وقع بهالسرطان. شو السبب؟ كلنا بنعرف السبب، بس بدنا نقول لا مجنونة هاي مريم نور. كلهم مجانين يا ترى. كل العلماء اللي عم بيحكوا انه السرطان سببه الأكل، ثم الأكل، ثم الغذاء، ثم الغذاء، ولكن من كل حواسنا، يعني نظام حياة. لأنه الإنسان ما بياكل بس بنت أمه. شو أنا مكنة روبوت؟ عم بيعملوا مكانات إنسان، ولكن كل واحد منا بياكل بكل حواسه. والإنسان جسد نعم، وفكر وروح. وين بدنا نروح الجرس بيعرف. لقطتها الآية. مينا دوبك. مين هي مينا دوبك؟ راح تشوفوا قصتها، منا غريبة هالقصة. راح تشوفوا كيف اجى السرطان بجسمها. حدا بيقول لك مثل السرطان بصير يمشي. بتعرفوا حيوان السرطان الكانسر انرجي بالبحر بياكل البحر. في سرطان بالبحر بكل انسان، بس في سرطان خير وسرطان شر، في سرطان صحة وسرطان مرض. فإذا كل واحد منا راح تشوفوا هلأ مينا دوبك أي سرطان إجاها.
For him was more difficult. For me, it was adventure. I worship my days of healing. And finally, I found my freedom through my cancer. Good evening. And this is the greatest opportunity for me to finally stay in Holland. I used to just transit through Holland to go to Yugoslavia, but this time I'm here in this beautiful place and this paradise thanks to Nelson family, Wicke and Aldebert. Aldebert didn't mention that he was my teacher when I was studying macrobiotic at the Cushing Institute in 1989. But I guess you are expecting from me my story, especially now when I'm all wired. I have to be really wired and strong to give you a lot of information about my trip, my journey through beautiful natural way of life. Before I became acrobatic, I was professor teaching linguistics at university in Belgrade and other cities in my country. 11 years before I was diagnosed with cancer, I started working in media. And I was doing what your friend over there is doing, and Miriam, and I am also here in the United States hooked up with media, trying to spread macrobiotic and to teach people how to live natural way, how to accept the way that is more traditional, to live in harmony with nature and to become healthy, strong, and fortunate for this world, what is going through a very difficult time. I was 42 years old when I started experiencing difficulties in my health. Doctors had answer for me telling me that I'm going through menopause. And the menopause means hot flashes, high blood pressure. I had also high cholesterol. I had migraines, very bad allergies, and no answer how to cure that, but always the same way, medication, medications, and medication. One day I did stop them, and that was the first message that I should look for different way. I was in the bus going back home, and I had all my medications before I get on the bus, and I collapse. I wake up in the local medical institution where they told me that I have problem with heart. And I was fortunate at that time, my friend, our friend actually, family's friend, was a doctor who was there when I was brought to the hospital, and he told me that immediately I have to go to the capital of the province where we used to live in Vojvodina, north part of Serbia. And I went there with my husband, and the next day doctors told me that I have to have ultrasound. I went to have ultrasound, and you will read that part in my book about a responsibility of the medical people in my country, how they treat the patient. I was just a number on the table when they were doing the ultrasound, because they were dealing with some difficulties with their salary and discussing about my naked body, discussing about how much they should get money, how much they shouldn't. They even didn't pay attention that I am there. I used to be when I work on television, I used to be for 6 years involved in medical field, trying to find out about illnesses and trying to write down about health insurance and everything. And I just warned them that this is not ethical, that they should pay attention. And after I did that, they told me that they cannot see what is going on in my body because my liver looked like a cauliflower, huge cauliflower. Fluid is all over the body, and they just mentioned that I should talk to my doctor. The next morning, I wake up with 3 times bigger tummy. My belly button was sticking out, and the whole body was full of fluid. When doctors saw me, they said I have to go immediately in the surgery. And then doctor told me that I have ovarian cancer. The body is covered with fluid, and that also they have to do surgery immediately. I even didn't know that this is going to happen the same day. After surgery, doctors didn't tell me what is going on with my body. They didn't tell me how ill I am. They didn't tell me how long I'm going to live. But my husband found out that in the doctor's office, and doctor told him that I have only 2 months to live. That I have ovarian lymphoma. There was stage 4 cancer metastasized in my entire lymph system. And I had 3 tumors in my liver and a large tumor in my pelvis. I heard about that 1 week later. But when I heard, I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't scared. I was only, maybe I can use that word today because I never feel that way anymore since I'm acrobatic. I was angry on doctors. I was angry how someone can tell me how long I'm going to live if they don't know how big spirit is in me. If they don't know what is the reason that I'm going to fight my cancer. And the reason was the biggest reason in the world. It was my 5-year-old daughter, my 14.5-year-old son, and my husband. I knew that I'm not going to die. I was always a fighter. Maybe because I'm born 1942 in the middle of the war. And I think I have something in me, like to be fighter and to be believer, to have faith. Anyway, I was in the hospital and the doctors offered me chemotherapy and radiation. I asked them, what is this going to do to me? Is it going to help me? Is it going to prolong my life? Is it going to cure the cancer? Is it going to give me chances that I can maybe experience something what wasn't, maybe something what is not new in their practice? They told me that maybe just to try, but there is no cure. I was in the room with 2 ladies. They were on the chemo, and one died the 2nd night after I arrived to the hospital. She was completely drained. She didn't have hair. She was very ill. I've been helping her, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't believe that chemicals can cure my body, even though I didn't know about macrobiotic anything. I didn't know I never heard before about that. I never knew about alternative way of healing. But I was lucky that I had a friend who is a doctor. And the next day, she came to the hospital and she brought me a macrobiotic book. My friend doctor was trying to find a way to help me. And she found in the library the book of Dr. Anthony Satilaro, who was in United States, a doctor who practiced macrobiotic through his healing. And he was the chief of the largest hospital in Philadelphia in the United States. I read the book, and an hour later I was in the toilet putting my makeup, getting ready to leave the hospital. My doctor asked me, how you can just leave hospital like that? You cannot do that. You can leave when we say that you are ready for that. I said, this is my life. I want to go out right now. And if you don't want to do that, I'm going to bring cameras and reporters from radio and television, and you will tell them in camera that you are not allowed me to go home and to find my way of healing. After that, she said, I believe in macrobiotic. I read about macrobiotic, and I'm not eating meat, I'm not eating dairy, I'm not eating sugar. All my family changed their diet since my daughter started experiencing difficulties with multiple sclerosis. I did leave the hospital that morning. I arrived to my home when my family was waiting for me, and my friend doctor makes my first macrobiotic meal. I had miso soup, I had short grain brown rice, I had vegetable dish, and first time in my life I was chewing 100 times each bite. I left the hospital with bleeding hemorrhoids, with high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Doctors were trying to do something about that week and a half. They couldn't do anything. In 2 days, my cholesterol went down. The 4th day, my blood pressure was normal and my hemorrhoids stopped bleeding. First question, what I asked myself, what is this? This is not the food. This is the medicine. And I never heard before sea vegetables. I never ate sea vegetables. I ate rice, but white rice. I ate beans, but never soybeans. And I had also vegetables, and I guess you all are familiar with nightshade vegetables, tomato, potato. That's what we eat. Meat, tomato, potato, and eggs. That's what people eat in my country. 3 times a day. And I was never questioning how I can live without that food. I was questioning, what can I do to prolong my life and to help my family who were already having symptoms that their health is not perfect. My friends, doctor, contact all the people who I work with. They contact radio station and television where I work, university where I teach for 30 years. They all collect the money. They get the tickets. And my husband and myself, we came to Boston to meet Michio Kushi at the Kushi Institute. In my book, you will read that we even didn't know where is it Brookline or Brooklyn? And anyway, we came to the Kushi Institute, and we were really lucky. God was leading us. I don't know how to explain. We got to the Kushi Institute 1 day before Michio Kushi left to Japan. We even didn't know who is going to give us consultation. We didn't make this kind of contact to schedule consultation. But when we get on the Kennedy Airport, my husband called our friend doctor, and he said, you know, it's not Brooklyn, it's Brookline. It's not Brookline, it's Brooklyn. It has to be in Boston, not in New York. And she said, anyway, you're in the United States, just get the tickets and go there. And that's what we did. I met Michio, it was February 27th on 1987. And everything was new to me. In the classroom, no machines, no white uniform, no, everything was like you're entering to the lecture. Michio was there with one man who was studying macrobiotic at the Kushi Institute. That was the time when Kushi Institute was having all the program in Boston. And that man was from our country. And that was his last week, and after that he will finish his studies at the Kushi Institute. He was interpreter, and he was helping us to learn everything and explaining in details what Michio was recommending. I guess many of you had consultations, and you know what does it mean, visual diagnosis, You know, Michi was looking in my eyes, looking in my pulse, and also checking the back. And I took 3 layers of clothes because I was embarrassed to just walk as a skeleton. I was, at that time, I had 40 kilograms. I lost a lot of weight. And Michio told me that my illness is very serious. And he said, it's going to take time. And when my husband asked how much, how long, he said, a year. He told me that my illness is very serious. And he said, it's going to take time. And when my husband asked how much, how long, he said, a year. But that was the first time that we heard that we have hope. 1 year is nothing. It's a piece of cake. I will do it. I will do everything what he said. I will shoot 200 times. I will expect to learn a lot and to take this way of life, not only way of eating. That's what I learned. Taking 3 days Way to Health seminar at the Cushing Institute, I learned that this is not the food. This is the way of understanding where is your place in the universe, on the earth, where is your place in between you and God, and where you are going. You want to be healthy, you have to choose healthy way. And not only to choose for yourself, you got to share. Share with everybody. My husband and myself, we took 7 suitcases of food because we didn't know where we can find. In our country, we couldn't trust people that they don't use chemicals, so we took the soybeans, grains, vegetables, seeds for vegetables and everything. And we took a lot because we were planning to put whole family on macrobiotic diet. We came home and we told our children that we have this opportunity, and I asked them to support me. Our son was 14 and a half. He understood a lot. What is this? What kind of obligation is that? And what kind of challenge we are going to go through? But he said he will do it. And in his age, he never experienced joy. Since 3, he was suffering from heart asthma, being on medications and shots twice a week, using inhaler, not being able to experience his teenage age to be happy and healthy like other children. And this is the beginning now. First, what we did when we came back was February. First, what we did, we tried to find out where we can get vegetables. I started growing also daikon in the pots for the plants. And when daikon will come out, the sprouts, I will use that and steam and use as a greens, because in our country you can find only cabbage at that time. And start cooking myself, what I learned for a couple of days at the Cushing Institute, and using recipes and enjoying so much being at home and doing my healing this way. I learned also that it's very important to enjoy your way of healing, to be involved 100%, to cook your food, to put your own energy, you receive the double energy. This was the first time that I was full day with my children, my family. My daughter was helping me. She was making gomashi. You know what is that? We had so much fun. And the healing became happiness and joy. I was singing, first time in my life, I was singing songs, happy songs. I was 9 years in radio station, and I never learned one song, words of one song. My friends were bringing the words of the song that I can sing. The whole house transferred into the joy, and the whole atmosphere becomes so beautiful and healing moments we all had. In 2 months, my son stopped using inhaler. He never took medications after that. He's now 30 years old. He was eating with me the same food. Even I learned later that kids shouldn't eat the food what the adults are eating. We have to adjust the diet for their age, and also for example, my son had problem with lungs. I had problem with ovaries. You learn about yin and yang. I had yang cancer. He had yin condition, and heart also. He has to eat a different food, but we all were chewing together. We had so much fun, and I guess all that love and those vibrations helped him to cure, to get well. And my daughter was scheduled, I always say my daughter. Our daughter was scheduled to have her surgery months after we came back from United States. She didn't go. In 4 weeks, hernia disappeared. And that means a lot. I learned first, this food is medicine, seeing them being healed. And that was beginning of my faith. And I knew I am the next one. I never give up. I never give up for any social sake. Today when I'm counseling people, they will come and ask questions, how I can go out with my friends or with family and take my food. It's embarrassing. It's your level of consciousness. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do with your body? What do you want to do with your spirit? Because this is not only healing body. This is rejuvenating your soul, healing your spirit, healing your emotions. And I saw that through a journey of 7 months working with myself, with family, how much we change. We become closer. We become warmer. We trust each other more. We become like one cell. And very happy people. I remember one moment when I lost a lot of weight. We were sitting around the table, and my daughter said that she's scared seeing me how skinny I am. But she also said, Mommy, but I love you, and I know that you are going to get better. And I knew that there is a time when my body is going to go through the process of gain back healthy weight. And also I learned that first 4 months blood is going to get exchanged, blood cycle, then cellular fluid will exchange, the cells will get healthier. And I was looking forward for each moment to experience and to be completely new. I didn't like myself before. I was too bossy. I was leading the national program, and I wasn't a good person. I can tell you that I'm satisfied with myself today. As a mother, as a teacher, and also as a person. In 6.5 months, my cancer was gone. Tumors disappeared. My life completely changed. If I will tell you that we took 50 roses from our backyard, we started growing our own vegetables, and that was the most healing moment for me, touching the soil and looking at the vegetables, and that was spiritual work. It was kind of connection between me and God. And seeing family doing same things, having time to go for a picnic together, sharing the same food, having more time for each other. And after that, when I was completely satisfied with what I was doing, I start thinking, my mind starts reaching further and further, and I start thinking how I can learn more and help other people. The media was following what I'm doing, and they were doing many interviews. They were making interviews with me, asking me questions, and our house became like a Mecca. Many people were coming, ill people, asking questions. I couldn't help them because I learned only about myself, my healing. We made a decision that we are going to go back to Boston and we are going to study. We will take 1 year, we will go back and we will take levels and whole family will go. But before that, I want to introduce macrobiotic to my country, and I did through a couple of interviews, and then I used the media to organize macrobiotic conference where Michio Kushi came with other teachers who practice macrobiotic in United States and Europe. And we had the most successful conference. That was 1988. We had in Belgrade 2,000 people who came to the conference. We had also in Zagreb, Zlatko Pejic, another teacher, had also over 2,000 people who came. And medical practitioners came also to the conference. Was over 700 people who came, doctors and other people from medical field. And I thought, this is it. I learn for myself. I see people are interested. This is now another step. I'm going to learn how to use this skill and help people. In 1988, we went back to Kushi Institute. Our son was with us and our daughter, and we stayed back at 1 year. And then after that, we want to go back. Then Kushi Institute asked us to stay more. At that time, a great educator and writer and teacher, Alex Jack, was manager. And you know him, he is here and teaching. He asked us to stay also, and Evelyn and Michio Kushi. We stayed 2 more years. We finished our studies at the Kushi Institute, and we made our trip in our mind, going back home and spread macrobiotic. On the day when we made the decision, we heard the war broke in our country. And we heard that people are fighting over there. It was the saddest moment in our life, because we knew that war is not good. And we knew the reason why people are fighting is the way how they eat, the way how they think, the way how they appreciate each other. And we stay in California, and that's where I practice macrobiotic. I am teaching a lot of people. I'm working also with chefs at the Ritz-Carlton, teaching them how to prepare macrobiotic food. I'm teaching at the schools and also talking to media about macrobiotic. And my family is with me, and they're all involved in macrobiotic movement. We conducted together the fundraiser for Smithsonian Institution, where 2000 macrobiotic was recognized by the Smithsonian Institution and also Congress of the United States, where the collection of macrobiotic is now placed in Smithsonian, and we can learn about publicly more about this movement. Was started with Michio Kushi and other teachers. The first one who came here was Giorgio Sava, Michio's teacher, and also others who came to the West Coast and East Coast to spread macrobiotic. Since then, I learned a lot about all this, what I'm doing today. I learned that living in harmony with nature is the most important for human being. Once when you get clean, once when you get in that perfect balance, you cannot ignore the nature and your environment. You are all the time doing the same. You are trying to actually be one with the nature. And you try to live decent life as a human being. I appreciate if you can understand that I can share as much at this moment I can give from my memory, because this is already 27 hours that I'm on my feet. We came today from California, but I will be very happy to answer all your questions if you have anything to ask me.
Why do you think you had? Why do you think that cancer came for you and not for somebody else? Like, why do you think that cancer got to you?
The question is, why do I think the cancer got me? Yeah. Why did I get the cancer? From my learning and from my experience of being macrobiotic 15 years, I can tell you that it's very important your lifestyle, what do you eat, and how much you care about others. My favorite food was cheese. And you will learn here, if you didn't yet, that cheese is causing ovarian cancer. Eggs and meat a lot. And you know how lifestyle could be if you work in media, especially in communist country where I used to be. And being responsible and not knowing what could happen tomorrow. It's a very stressful life. But if we go a little bit back and learn, I use macrobiotic food to help myself, and also I use the philosophy of macrobiotic, living in harmony with nature, and learning that you are the most important person in this moment to yourself. And then when you get in good balance, you become healthy, then you share and help others. But also it's very important that you continue with the live in good balance. You don't make mistake again. And the reason why I had also tumors in my liver, I think that was because the job was very stressful. Was a lot of anger. And I didn't eat every day cooked food. I will always have in my pocket slices of cheese, and when I was hungry, I will nibble. The first who I saw was Michio Kushi, and then after 7 months, I heard Michio is coming to Switzerland, and I went for second consultation to see him. When I saw him, he told me, "Congratulations, you are cancer-free." And we asked Michio, would be appropriate to go to have a consultation through medical, the traditional, medical way. He said, yes, but prepare yourself for that, because they're going to use x-rays, CAT scan, and everything. It's a lot of radiation, and he told me what to do. He told me to eat a special soup made of carp fish or trout. They call that in macrobiotic koikoku soup. And I had umeboshi plum, half a plum daily. I had sheet of nori, and after 1 month, I went back to the hospital, and my doctors were thinking the ghost is entering in their office. Long time ago, I should be gone. But they were shocked when they saw my body clean, no cancer. I felt that I'm happy when I eat this food. And I'm completed emotionally, spiritually, and physically. I felt great when I eat this. And today also when I go to work, and sometimes I go to the places where people are cooking food and it's not organic, my body feels that. I go on medicinal diet. you are eating this food today. No spices, no garlic, no vinegar. I just eat very simple food using miso or shoyu or umeboshi for seasoning or sea salt, and I feel great. And my mind gets clear. My problem was also, major problem was that I had memory loss. You know, I couldn't remember things. And being in media, interviewing people, I even, after 5 minutes, didn't know the name of the person who I'm interviewing. The 2 weeks only, my memory came back. Only 2 weeks, chewing, short grain brown rice. I don't have to tell you that this is the miracle, you just have to try. I chew 200 times later, till I make liquid. The reason why is when you chew, your saliva produces the enzymes, the nutritional quality, whatever you get through the food, goes straight through your blood and start feeding each part of the body and cleaning the body. And dissolving whatever is there. You know, you learn here, till now, you are already, I think, 1 week here. You learn the whole foods brings the whole energy in you. It makes you to be whole. Whatever is processed, it's not good. Because it's artificially prepared and nutritional quality is gone. The part of my illness was coming, my illness was coming from fast food. Fast life is asking for fast food. I will get already made noodles with cheese in the store and put in the oven, 5 minutes to heat it, and that was it. But there wasn't energy. Today, even after 28 hours being on my feet, in the age of 60, I feel I still have energy to go for 24 hours more. Where is that energy coming from? From the heaven and earth. That is, we learn yin and yang. That is what we actually supposed to be. Balanced. That is the meaning of the medicine, word medicine. Middle balance, to be in the middle. When you are balanced, everything is balanced. Problem is not anymore problem, no problems. Imagine coming to United States not speaking English. I didn't speak one word. I was professor of Slavic languages. With 2 children, 6 suitcases, not knowing what we are going to do here. And we stay here forever. We left our home there, beautiful home. We didn't live in that home 7 months. But home is not worth it. That's material things what makes us to be dependent, to be slaves to material things. What is the most precious, what we carry with us, it's life, and life has meaning if there is a love, if it's wrapped with love. Family. It's very important to have family. Family, this is family. We are all the same people, God's people. It doesn't matter where we are coming from. It doesn't matter the blood type. It doesn't matter the color. We are all people, and the people can change and do something. This is not first time that I see crowds on my lectures like this. I went to universities, I went everywhere. It was always full, packed. But I want to share this with you. Every day more and more people are coming. More and more people are learning how to be together, how to change this world. When we came to California, in the area, Orange County, it was only 3 health food stores. Now we have 35. Consciousness of the people are changing. People are looking more to natural way. The reason why? Because I'm talking about United States. Every 35 seconds, one person is dying from cancer and another from heart disease. What is going on with medicine? Why is this happening? We got to spread the word and tell them, I'm the one and you are the second one. And to get well through this way is actually making the planet to be well, healing the humanity, making people to be one, to love each other and to share whatever we have, the precious life and peace. Yes.
But there are many people are not healed when you give the same treatment and the same love for all the people that are at the center. And some are healed and some are not.
What my experience, Miriam, is that when people, macrobiotic way of life is actually educational also part of the human being. You got to learn what is all this about. You got to love these moments in your life and to have faith and believe and practice. Not to have doubts. How is possible the natural way of living can harm someone, can make someone to get worse? It's not possible. It's the consciousness. I learned that our body, my body was my chapel of the soul. My spirit was the one. My mind was my healer. And I put in my mind that faith. When I was going through first 2 months of macrobiotic way of practicing, I can tell you that my husband has to put on the wheelchair, he has to put a cutting board because I couldn't walk. At the beginning, I was losing weight. I was having weakness in my legs. I was having pain in my abdomen. But it wasn't 1 second that I was thinking cancer is spreading. No, I was all the time thinking, I'm getting well. And the pain is great elimination of the toxins. And I knew where it's coming from. It was coming from here. And this is the life point, the chakra where life came from. This is what I opened up all my difficulties from my previous life. I was eliminating all the toxins from my mind. And I believe that I can be the one who will be in the future the person who will share. And I saw myself at the beginning doing this, what I'm doing here and everywhere. You got to believe, you got to practice, and you got to learn. This is the perfect place to learn. And also what I did, I made a small macrobiotic community. I started sharing with my neighbors. When they had migraine or something, I said, do not take pill, come to me. And I will take umeboshi plum, chopped, put in the cup, put a couple of drops of shoyu, pour hot bancha, I will give them to drink. Migraine is gone. You start little by little introducing your medicine and people will start seeing. You got to be example. You got to walk your talk. When you walk your talk, that means I don't call myself healer. I'm survivor, but with my consciousness that I didn't have cancer. I had condition. That was my way of learning. Condition, I can change that condition. And I did. In the spring, I was 80 kilograms, looking good, feeling fantastic. I felt like whole world is mine. And cancer was past. I want to share with you, because when you go to doctor, they told you you have cancer. If you don't go for this, if you don't go for that, you are not going to get well. Please do not let them to scare you, to tell you what do you have to think. If I can get well, you can get well. And Miriam asked me, I work also with people who had a brain tumor, the most difficult, the most aggressive brain tumor. And you know, these people cannot use their brain to use the power of mind to get this faith. But if family is around, you see them after 1 month, you see them, they left the wheelchair. Because they have this other power, love, that is giving them energy and also believe that they are going to get well. And I'm not the only one. All the people who practice macrobiotic, they experience the same. I met thousands and thousands of people who had the worst cancer. Doctors told them week, 2, 3, then you work on the mind. You know, if people cannot, there is a lot of people who cannot see, especially with the brain tumor. I will ask them to order from the institute, Kushi Institute, audio tapes. And listen. If you cannot read, you got to listen. The testimonials, listen lectures, learn, study. And you will see after once you got all these informations how you can deal with your any kind of disorder in the body. Later you will have maybe migraine, you will have maybe aches and pains. You use your kitchen as a pharmacy of life. You become your own doctor and you become free. And that freedom cannot be bought, cannot be compared with any money in the world. You become free, and that freedom makes you to become what you all are going to get, to share and to help others. And I think also I have to share also this part with you. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I was a very ignorant person, and that is illness. I never recognized God, because in my country, you cannot be professor, you cannot go in media and work in media if you don't believe in God. But after I got my illness, I learned about God, and whole family start believing that. In God. And that is such a spiritual, it's challenging, it's cleaning, it's light is coming to you. And I remember many times I will be on the floor laying down, visualizing my cancer, my tumors actually, no cancer, tumors, shrinking them, making them smaller and smaller. I close my eyes and I will see red. First my friend brought the anatomy of the body that I can learn how the parts of the body look. And then in the places where the tumors were, I saw those parts were black. I was shrinking them, shrinking. One day, I told my husband, I think I have no tumors in my body. Then, 2 days later, we heard Michio is coming to Switzerland, and we went there, and Michio told me, no tumors. See, I made this connection, and that connection teach me to go through my healing. On the way, what I did find out, what I didn't know before. And it sounds as a miracle, but it's not. It's just very simple. It's simple, and it's, you know, you have appreciation for God, you have appreciation for yourself, for everyone. And you are always with your feelings touching others. If there is no more questions, I hope we will be able to talk next week. Actually, this week I will be teaching also, and I apologize. It's kind of late, and maybe we should go and have some some goodies over there, and have some cookies or something, and then will be more days. Thank you.
بعرف انتوا شو عم بتشوفوا وشو عم بتفكروا وشو عم بتحسوا. صدقوني ما بقى في كلام قوله. أنا نقطة وهي المحيط. ما رح تصدقوني، لأنه شو بيقولوا مطرب الحي لا يطرب. وهيك بنتعرف على بعضنا. كل يلي عندهم سرطان اليوم معاهدة وعقد مع الله يا شافي. كلمة من قلبنا منقولها لكل اخوتنا اللي سامعينا ويلي بيسمعوا اللي سمعونا يا شافي. مثل ما هي شفيت ملايين من الناس، انتو انا منهم، بس ما منصدق الا تنجرب. كل واحد دق له الجرس الحكيم وقال له معك سرطان وشهر بعد بدك تموت، ما تصدق. اسمع الأذان وقول الله أكبر. الله أكبر من كل كلمة بيقولها. أكبر حاكم وحكيم وملك وأمير وفقير وصغير وكبير وغني وشو بدي أخبركم. بس مين منا بيقدر يقول أي متى رح تموت؟ مين شو بس تطلع فيها قال لها معك سرطان وبس راح السرطان قال لها راح. انتبهوا من فراسة المؤمن. مين شو مش وحده، كتار مثله وأفضل وأقل وأكتر. بس كل واحد منا يتصل يحط هالوصلة مثل ما هي قالت، ومنا وحدة. ما رح تصدقوا إلا تجربوا. كل نهار سبت ببيت السلام بعيش دهشة وبنسى كل العذاب بكل الأسبوع، وبنطر نهار السبت تقول لهم مين ما شاف نتيجة يرفع ايده. ما حدا. كلكم شفتوا؟ شو شفتوا؟ بيقولوا كلنا شفنا فرق. هيك بأسبوع بكم يوم، أنا من ثالث يوم، أنا من أول يوم، أنا من ثالث مرة أكلت، أنا ما رح تصدقوني إلا ما أنتوا تصدقوا حالكم. لا تصدقوني، أنا عم بكذب. جربوا، صوموا، تصحوا. كلمتين من 1400 سنة مين عم بيجربون؟ يلي جربون. عند الامتحان يكرم المرء أو يهان. منين إجا السرطان؟ من مطرح ما دخل بيطلع. بسيطة. من حواسنا كلها نعم، بس بالأول بدنا هالصحوة. شفتوا كيف كانت تاكل؟ معظم الناس بتاكل هيك بلبنان وبكل البلدان. شوفوا السرطان المنتشر بكل بلد من بلادنا وبكل بيت وبكل جسد. ونجينا من الأكبر والأعظم، السيدا، وفي غيره الإيبولا، وفي الزونج، وكل يوم في مرض جديد وبيعملوا له ختمة جديدة وأدوية وأمراض. ومثل ما قالي ما تخلي الطبيب يتحكم فيك. You are your own doctor, I am my own doctor. هيدا جسمي قالت له بجيب كل الميديا خليها تقول لها انه تخليني اطلع من المستشفى. هيدا جسدي، لجسدك عليك حق. مين قال اجمل من الامام علي عن المضغ الطعام؟ المضغ ثم المضغ ثم المضغ ثم المضغ بيطلع الطبيب. كل المسلمين بس نكون باي مؤتمر بصيروا يخبروني، بقول كيف في هيك دين ونحن في اسفل السافلين. شو السبب؟ الهنا التكاثر من دكان لدكان، من عارة وبنيات. بس أي متى بدنا نصحى؟ كيف الغرب سبقونا بكل شيء، سبقونا بالأمراض وسبقونا بالشفاء. فاتوا بطريقنا يا أمة الوسط. قليلة شو حلو. نحن أمة الوسط كيف بدنا نعيشها؟ بس هالكلمة هي عاشتها، عرفت ببلدها ما كان في الله. اللي بيقول في الله ما بيشغلوه. المرض رجع وصلها بالشافي، وعرفت شو بدها تاكل، وطلعت على جنينة وحطت ايدها بالتراب وشافت هيدي امك ثم امك ثم امكم الارض وعمتكم النخله. بس اي متى بدي اصدق بالنخله؟ ما زلني انا بهله، بدي اتخلص من هالبهله تقدر اشوف النخله. قال لي وجعلنا من الماء يا مريم، مش اننا قال العيش قمح شعير، أحلى برجين بالعالم بأمة الوسط، ناطرتهم العالم تقول لهم للعرب بعتوا لنا قمح وبعتوا لنا شعير. سوريا كانت من حوران تبعت عيش وطعام لكل إنسان ولا حاكم الرومان. ليكو اليوم نحن أمة العرب، أمة الوسط، ما عنا قمح، ما عنا شعير، ما عنا درة، ما عنا رز، ما عنا خبز. عنا سرطان، بس من السرطان هو العلاج. قالت my cancer was a blessing، بركة ونعمة المرض، العفو والعافية. فإذا كل واحد منا كتابة موجود. قلت لها اكتبي لوزير الصحة عنا شاب صغير قد ولدك. كتبت له هون to سليمان فرنجي with love and life مينا. فيلم هوليود عم تعمل فيلم. قلت لها وزير الصحة عنا بيعرف انه الاكل له تأثير على العقل. with love مينا دوبك. فيلم رح يطلع with love مينا قريبا على شاشات العالم، ورح تقولوا نحن بنعرفها، وكتابة ببيتك بيوصل لك هالأمانة إلك. وإن شاء الله كلنا نكون أمناء على هالأمانة اللي اسمها جسد. وزير الصحة عنا شاب وزوج وأب وولاده صغار، يعني البي بيعرف إنه هودي أصحابي، بيقول لي هو رفقاتي، بتلفن له ويخبر ابنه لأنه صاحبه. فإذا كل ولد هو ولدك وصديقك، وكل بنت هي بنتك وصديقتك. كلنا أصحاب على هالطريق. يا رفيق الطريق، يا وزير الصحة، الصحة وصحوة بإيدنا كلنا نحن الشعب، منساند بعضنا حتى نقدر نقول مع السلامة للسرطان ولكل مرض، ونرجع لأمنا الأرض. تصوروا هي وجوزها وبنتها وابنها شفيوا من أمراض صعبة ومستعصية. بنتها ب4 أيام، وهيك ب6 أيام، وهيك بأسبوعين، وهيك بشهرين، 6 أشهر ونص هي بسرطان منتشر بجسمها. الطبيب يلي قريت له كتابه أنتوني ساتيلارو، هالإيدين وإيديكم كلكم عبر هالإيدين شاركنا بطبخ لإله. أنا ساعدت معه وطبخت له. أنتوني ساتيلارو من أشهر أطباء العالم، كتابه اسمه Recalled by Life، تذكرتني الحياة. ولأنه طبيب مشهور بأميركا غير كتير بكتابه وبمحاضراته. بس ما ضروري نكون مشهورين، الشهرة أنه نكون عاديين، نكون بشر وعلى هالممر، وكل واحد منا مريض طالما بعدنا عم ندعس وندوس أمنا الأرض. وين ما كان في تلوث، وين ما كان في إنسان، وين ما كان في سرطان، وبقلب كل إنسان في الشافي. هون الصيدلية وهون الصوت، وتصرخوا على هالقلب وتقول ما بدي أسمع لصوت الطبيب وصوت الدواء، بدي أسمع صوتك أنت وأمي الأرض. والطبيب جاهل، مش كل الأطباء لا. اليوم في صحوة في العالم الغربي وفي العالم العربي. للأسف ما بعرف ليش بعدنا وحدنا بلبنان، بس عم بسمع كتير تليفونات وفاكسات ورؤساء جمهوريات عم يهتموا. يمكن هالبذرة بدها 9 أشهر تتبين. ما تتعوقوا أكتر يا أخوتنا العرب، يا تجار العرب. افتحوا محلات، مطاعم، مدارس، أدوية طبيعية إذا بدكم، يلي اسمها خضار وفاكهة وبقوليات وأعشاب بحر وأعشاب أرض، وحنطة كاملة، رز وخبز وثياب، ألعاب، كتب، فرش بيت. كتير في حلال بهالتجارة. وبتبرك. لما بتعرف وقت بتجي الام بتاخذ من عندك خبز ورز، بخبرك شو صار بابنها المريض بالربو، بيجي الرجال وبخبرك شو صار بمرته اللي عندها كوليسترول وهو عنده سكري. هيدا اجر كمان اهم من الدولار. انا كثير بحبه للدولار، بس نهار السبت بقبض اكثر. وبعرف يمكن شي نهار نسكر بكون عندنا عجز مادي ونسكر، ولكن ما رح يكون عندنا عجز من الرز. كل واحد منا. سمعت بسوريا امبارح خبر حلو كتير، عملوا مظاهرة جمعية البرغور. قليلة هي؟ قالوا بدنا نعترض على الرز المستورد من اميركا، المستورد من كل العالم المقشور، هذا مستورد من عقلي وفكري المسدود. سوريا بلد القمح والفريكة والشعير والعيش، بلد المقامات في التصوف وفي الزهد وفي القديسين اللي مرقوا من مرمرون القديس فرانسيس وغيرهم، الأولياء والحكماء. أرض مباركة 3 مرات قال الحبيب: مباركة شامنا، مباركة شامنا، مباركة شامنا. منك بدنا ناكل، هي الأم. كل الأرض بلا أم ما منلم. اليوم ما بقى في أم، في مطبخ، في نانيات ونانانا ومطاعم. ننطر تيجينا سرطان. فإذا كل واحد منا اللي عنده سرطان اطمئن، نام وقل له يا شافي، بس هو قال اعقل وتوكل. ادرسوا، نتعلم من بعضنا البعض ونعلم الجيران، وأرجوكم ما نكذب. علموا اللي بتعرفون وبيزيدوا. إذا علمنا اللي ما بنعرفه صرنا نكذب. من ليس معه يؤخذ منه ومعه يعطى ويزاد. هيدي الحكم اللي وزعها المسيح. ما نكذب أرجوكم. مش إذا قرينا ورقة صرنا أفهم من 100 شو، خاصة نحن الطرزان، ومنحط أسامينا على الحيطان وشهاداتنا ومنقول أنا ملك الميكروبيوتيك بالعالم. بيكون كوينا بكذا دواء وكذا عشبة. لا، انتبهوا وين بتروحوا. أفضل شيء نروح على أعطي خبزك للخباز لو أكل 99%، على القليل بترك لك رغيف طيب منيح صحيح حلالا طيبة. أحلى مدرسة القلب، من الفكر والعقل إلى القلب. افتح كتاب، اقرأ، امضغ الأكل منيح. كل ما مضغت عم توعى الذاكرة، عم تتذكر مين أنت وشو دورك على هالممر. المضغ ثم المضغ ثم المضغ ثم المضغ. في كتاب اسمه Pet Power of Eating Program، بس بالمضغ. 1200 مرة مضغت البصلة، حطنا بخيمة وسكرها. 1200 مرة الخبز، المي مثل ما قال غاندي، مضغ الماء، حتى السلايفا، اللعاب والانزيمز من هون اللي فيها الشفاء. الهضم بالتم مش بالمعدة. ما في عند راس بالمعدة. ومثل ما سمعتوا في ناس بيشفوا في ناس لا، بس منقوم بالأسباب ومنتكل على الله. وإذا ما في شفاء مش من الشافي ولا المعافي، من هالحافي اللي ما عنده علم وما عنده أخلاق وما عنده شكر وامتنان. يلا من قفا ايدنا. شيلوا الخوف. في أصدقاء بيجوا على بيت السلام: أنا معي سرطان وقال لي الحكيم هيك، اعملي لي شيء زيادة دخيلك. شيلوا هالخوف واتكلوا على الله، مش على مريم نور ولا الكتاب. قولوا راح السرطان مع السلامة، بتودعوه. ما في ناس شفيوا بحطة الإيد، في كتير بنعرفهم. ليش راحوا 100 عند قديس شربل ورجعوا واحد شفي؟ شربل بيحبنا كلنا، خي لنا هي. قديس قبل ما رسموه قديس، مناطر حتى يرسموا قديس. بس أنا اللي ما شفيت لأنه بسمع صوت الإبليس. كل واحد منا من زمان بس نطلب نقول له يا رب تشتت الدنيا. كنا نطلع معنا شمسية بالسعودية بيلبسوا ثيابهم على القفا، معناتهم تأكدوا رح تشتي الدنيا. هلا بنطلب تشتي وبتعرفوا الجواب. الله ما عنده حجار يرشقنا، عنده علامات تيعلمنا. كلمة سرطان نعمة وبركة وفيها كل الخير وفيها كل الشفاء. عم بيصرخ كل الجسم، واجا قعدوا كل هالنفايات وكل هالصوت، قال وين بنقعد؟ بالكبد، وين بالكلوة، وين بالعين، وين حتى نصرخ ونقول عندي مرض كبير انتبهي يا مريم. مريم بتنتبه من شو؟ الكتاب. اول كتاب قريته زين ماكروبيوتكس، انا وعم بقرا فلسفة الحياة قلت شفيت من هالفلسفة. بتذكر واحد قال لي ما تصدق الميكروبيوتيك لانهم بيقولوا غير ما نحن بنقول عن المسيح. قلت له هيدا هو المسيح، هيدا هو المسيح، هو نظام الكون، وهيدا هو الحبيب والرسول بنظام الكون. ما نكون دايين. مين منا بيعرف المسيح؟ أول وآخر مسيحي، المسيح، من بعده المسيحية والمسيحيين، وهيك بكل الديانات، نصارى ومسلمين كلنا. مين منا عم بيعيش التوحيد؟ مين منا عم بيعيش كلمة إن كانت من القرآن أو الإنجيل؟ فإذا أول آية اللي جسدك عليك حق أو صوموا تصحوا أو أي كلام أو أي صمت من أي نبي بيقول لها الغبي اللي مثلي. وقت اللي بيصير لي اسمع الأنبياء بسمع الأغبياء. والله حط أسبابه في أولياء بالأرض، 100 شكوش واحد منهم منه بحاجة إنه يتوجوه ويقولوا له أنت قديس. لا، يلي بيعيش معه بيعرف. كل اللي عاشوا معه اسألونا وروحوا انتوا اختبروا ما تصدقونا. لهالسبب وقت اللي برجع على لبنان وعلى بيتي وعلى العالم العربي ما بقدر إلكم بحس بإحباط، بقول تركت الجنة وجيت على جهنم. بيقول لي دورك بجهنم يا مريم، من هون بدك تتعلمي، هيدي جنة بس انت مش شايفتيها. لما بسمع مينا دوبك عم تحكي وبسمع الناس اللي بتجي على بيت السلام ويصيروا يخبروني، دخيلكم بلقطهم كأني أنا ماني مصدقة. طلعوا قولوا للصف اللي عم بيدرس فوق. بس الأجانب عندهم جرأة يحكوا. نحن منخاف. من مين بدنا نخاف؟ من الطبيب؟ ما هيدا أخلق لي ومثلي. بشكر الطبيب اللي قال لمنى، قال لها كيف صحيت من هالكوليسترول؟ قالت له، قال لها أنا معي كوليسترول جيبيلي بس ما تقولي لا. ما بتصح يا أخي إذا أنت مستحي وخايف مني. ليه بدك تخاف مني؟ منه هو. بس معك حق، كلنا أوقات بدنا نراضي الغير. رضا الناس أنا ما بقدر أبدا أرضي حدا. حاولت وفشلت، ومن هالفشل تعلمت إني يكون وقحة. الحقيقة وقحة. إذا ما كنت هيك تاكلني الجهل. فإذا كل واحد منا أنت مسؤول. اللي قال لي جسدك عليك حق ما قال مريم نور ولا قال الله، قال أنت كل راعي مسؤول. هيدا جسمي، أنا المسؤولة، ولا وزير الصحة ولا رئيس الحكومة ولا رئيس الجمهورية ولا الملك ولا الدولار ولا الدواء ولا المستشفى. مريم نور مسؤولة عن مريم نور. طبعا الله ده بيسخر، بيجيني كتاب، بيجينا أكل، بيقولوا لي في مدرسة هون عم بتعلم، في برنامج احضريه. إذا ما عملنا شيء بحياتنا كلنا، النيو تي في واللي عم بيشتغلوا الأخوة بالنيو تي في واللي حضرنا المؤتمر وكل المشاهدين، إذا ما عملنا إلا هالبرنامج الله بيكتب لنا أجر كبير. قديش في ناس شفيت وبطريق الشفاء. حتى اللي عم بيسبوا البرنامج وما بيحبوا مريم نور، ما تحبوني سبوني قد ما بدكم، بس حبوا حالكم. كل واحد ببلش بالحال. كيف حالك؟ معي سرطان؟ لا تخاف، احضر هالبرنامج، بنعطيك كتاب، تعال تدرس معنا، غير أكلاتك، فوت على موقع مريم نور ولا توقع، فوت وتكبر بكل المواقع. كل واحد منا بيمرق باختبار والاختبار بتصير أخبار، كل خبر حقيقة إذا منعيشه، وكذبة إذا ما منصدق. حتى الكذبة صدقوها، نون كريدو واختبروا. الحياة اختبار بالحياة مش بالمختبر. إذا عطشان كلمة مي ما بتشفيك ولا بترويك، روح على النهر وعلى العين ومع السلامة. وبشكركن ونيالك يلي عنده سرطان.